I've got two projects afoot these days. I'm actually trying to write an article right now about the challenge of doing research about marijuana law and reform. And in particular, I'm doing a symposium up at Case next month, as a matter of fact, where I'll be presenting a paper highlighting the fact, or I hope to be able to highlight the fact that marijuana is still prohibited as a matter of federal law impedes the ability for the federal government to fund, for other institutions to fund research in states like Colorado and Washington and others that have reformed their marijuana laws to make it legal under certain circumstances. The other project, which is distinct in some sense, but maybe arguably related, involves a lot of research I've done already and I'm continuing to do on how can we legally and from a policy perspective reform old sentences that we've now decided are not good sentences anymore. And so I come from a family of teachers. I come from a family of perhaps overeducated individuals who like the idea of ideas. And putting those together, I think even before I went to law school, I thought about maybe getting a PhD or going into higher education and getting to law school, discovering not only that the law school suited me, but that there'd be an opportunity to both have experience as a practitioner or lawyer, but still get training and figure out how to also become a law professor was all part and parcel of the same package of ideas.
Where?
I have, in fact, part of my not quite idyllic childhood, but an aspect of it is I got to travel an awful lot as a relatively young child overseas through my mother's parents. My maternal grandparents were very worldly, and actually my grandfather, who was a pretty successful lawyer, also was a Jewish comedian, of all interesting things, and part of that story would lead him to get invitations from a variety of Jewish communities around the world to perform there. And so as a teenager, early teenager, I got to go to Israel and Egypt, and most recently I did our own Oxford program, and so I had the joy of taking not just my wife but my now teenage daughters to England, and we also went over to Paris as part of that. And so